Hey everybody, sorry for the long absence. I wanted to get back to doing some videos, and so I figured a good one to do would be something about mixing. And this is a pretty meaty topic. I get asked this topic a lot about mixing. How do people get their mixes to sound great? Basically is the gist of the question I get a lot. And so I wanted to hit a topic that is probably one of the biggest issues that a lot of people have with their mixes, and that is the buildup of certain frequencies, or how to EQ certain tracks, essentially, to get that sound that you hear from a lot of professional mixes. Think about it this way. If you record a band, you have all different instruments, right? You have drums, bass guitar, you have the singer, you've got horns maybe, et cetera, et cetera. Those are all different instruments. They have all different timbres, textures, frequency signatures. I don't even know if that's a proper term, but you know what I mean. They all sound different. So when you mix them together, they each have a way of fitting in their own space. You know, you have to carve out some things to help them out, but a band is pretty easy. Now, an a cappella band, vocal band, whatever, an a cappella group, you have all the same instrument. It's all voices. Even if it's a soprano versus a bass, the human voice has definite characteristics. It's the same instrument. It would be like if you had a clarinet choir of bass clarinets and alto clarinets and soprano clarinets. It's still a clarinet. It's still the same instrument. So you have to help things out a little bit. So let me just show you some basic things. You know, here my purple tracks are my basses. And you can see the EQ curve here. There's a significant bump in the lower end. And then a lot of the high end, you can see from 1K on, is minimized and taken out. With EQ, it's always good to get rid of stuff versus boosting stuff. So, you can hear this bass track here. Dum 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 dum. You can hear it. It loses a lot of time, right? So, and let's jump up now to this magenta color here. These are the baritones, and if I look at his EQ curve, because I've restored some of the high end, but I've cut out a lot in the middle here, and you can see pretty much below 100 hertz, it's rolled off, and that gives you a sound like this.
The warm wind chills my bones. I reach.
Okay, and as we go up, now the tenors in this one, this brown color here, relatively the same as the baritones. They were in roughly the same range. Similar voices. They fit together.
I reach for.
We do that. Now let's get into the ladies here, the green altos here. If I, so you can see altos, I've started to roll off pretty much anything below 300 to carve out some space for the men. And that sounds like this here.
And when I see you again,
Okay, so we got some more space in the low end, but we've kept the high end because the ladies don't need as much low end. And then we get down here to blue, which are the sopranos, and you can see, if I go back to an alto, you can see that orange dot, the sort of the high pass filter there has just scooched over a little bit, and we're rolling off more of the low end. Haven't done much of the high end because this was well recorded and it didn't need any help. In general, that's a basic thing that happens in most mixes, in an a cappella mix, that as the voice gets higher, you roll off more of the low end to carve out space for the basses. And then the basses don't have a lot of high end to leave space for the higher voices. So I hope this is helpful. I promise I'm going to get back to doing more videos. And as always, if you have any questions, email me, Danny@emeraldcitypro.com, and I'll be happy to help you out and answer questions. Thanks a lot.